Welcome to Storied, a video series of the Presbyterian Church. In these webcasts, we try to illuminate the stories and experiences of just a few of the people that share in the life and ministry of our congregation. Our staff and session hope these short videos will connect us one with each other, as well as encourage and strengthen our fellowship in this most unusual year. I'm Alan Fisher, one of the pastors here, and today we'd like to share with you a conversation with Reverend Lindsay Williams, who is our newest member of staff and serves as our interim assistant for educational ministries. Lindsay, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate your time. Why don't we start with the real easy stuff, because a number of people didn't get to meet you when you first came just before the COVID outbreak. Tell us, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Western New York, outside of Buffalo, in a small town called Lancaster. Not to be confused with the Pennsylvania town Lancaster. But I lived there for my entire childhood, right next door to my grandparents. So I have a very close relationship with my parents and my grandparents.
Siblings?
I have a younger sister. Her name is Mallory. She lives in Philadelphia with her 2 children and her husband.
Wow.
His family is from Philadelphia, so they moved back there to be close to them.
Tell us about hopping over the fence. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. We had a metal fence in between our 2 yards, and I would hop over the fence. It, saved an extra 10 feet, but sometimes you just need to hop over the fence.
So growing up in Buffalo, what did your folks do? Did they work outside their home?
Yep, both of my parents worked for the State University of New York at Buffalo, so SUNY Buffalo. Both in technology before technology was big. My mother ran the entire mail server system for the university, and my dad did computing, building, software stuff for other areas. That's how he got his start, but then he retired from the print mail shop. He ran the entire university's print and mail services.
Wow.
So anything you needed custom made, he did.
That's considerable. So as a seminary trained pastor, we know that you've had lots of exposure to many different kinds of congregations and ministry settings. You want to tell us a little bit about other places you've been plugged in your ministerial role?
Yeah, so when I first finished seminary, I really felt called to serving as a hospital chaplain, and I did a residency at VCU Medical Center for a year, and then took a little break and did some nonprofit work, but then I went back to the hospital in Mechanicsville, Memorial Regional, and was a chaplain there for the Bon Secours system for almost 3 years, 1 month shy of 3 years. And I was 1 month shy because I was asked to serve as a covenant pastor of Kirkle Cliff Presbyterian out on Lake Anna, a retirement farm community church of about 60 members. It was a fun experience to be there for 5 years, working with a really cute congregation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your family now, with you and Roy and.
So Roy and I met while I was in seminary, and we got married after graduation, and then we were really excited to be married and be planning a family, and we had hoped to have a family really early on, and that wasn't God's plan, or at least it didn't work out like that. And we went through a lot of different things to make our family happen, and in 2018 we welcomed our first daughter, Eleanor, through the medical miracle of IVF, which is really awesome.
Oh.
And for people who have to go through it, it is gut-wrenching and nerve-wracking, but it also is amazing. She's now 2, and shortly before her 2nd birthday, we welcomed our 2nd daughter, Hazel, into the world, which is super exciting.
Which takes us to how you helped to cope through your quarantine. Obviously, you were making other plans while we were all learning a new vocabulary and social behaviors. So what was it like to be in a quarantine time expecting a baby?
It was weird. It was really weird, because I was just the other day thinking about this. With Eleanor, I felt like that third trimester dragged on. It was the middle of summer, June, July, and August, and it was hot. Even though 2018 was a very mild summer, it was very hot for a pregnant woman.
There you go.
And this time, the third trimester just flew by. And I'm sure that part of that is due to having a very active 18, 20-month-old who, just kept me on my toes. But it was very strange to not be able to take Eleanor to play dates, to have that interaction, and to talk with other expecting moms in person. So I did a lot of, I talked to my mom on the phone every single day just because it was a way to keep grounded.
Sure.
And now I talk to my dad every single day to keep grounded.
I get that.
Yeah.
So what's been, apart from that, or maybe that is the answer to this, the most challenging piece of kind of working through the last 6 months of quarantine for you? What's been the biggest challenge?
Oh, the biggest challenge is really feeling like when Roy is at work, I'm parenting completely by myself. And it's very lonely at times.
Sure, it can be. Yeah.
Even though you have another person there, and now 2 people, it's really hard to be alone.
Challenging. And we know that lots of our members and lots of folks in the community struggle with feelings of depression and isolation, and because of the last 6 months. Get any clues what works well for you when you know that you're in that kind of place, or you're thinking about really the weight of that?
Yeah, I immediately pick up the phone, and I call my sister or my mom or my best friend. Even though they're still doing jobs and out in the world, they always know that when I call, they just answer and give me 5 minutes to just connect. I also am really thankful for my mom group that I established a year ago. We started meeting in July of 2019, and we met every Friday because we all had children who were born in 2018. And so our kids were all about the same age, and we got together for play dates. And so,
have you been able to continue that virtually here for the last few months?
We have continued virtually. We also, as we are moving through the phases of Virginia, moving further out in the phases, some of us have started to get together on a one-on-one basis with our children. Not all together, but that has been a big piece to also just know that I could reach out to them, and that they were going through the same thing.
So tell us a little bit about Roy and what he does.
Roy is Virginia born, grew up in Caroline County. When we got married, he said, I want to live anywhere but Caroline County. So we moved in the next county over.
Far, far away.
Far, far away. He works at Caterpillar Machinery down in Richmond. He is an industrial refurbishment painter. So he takes any piece of equipment, and no matter what state it's in, and shines it up and makes it look brand new. So he can take a 1800 or 1950s piece that's fallen apart and make it look like it just came out on the showroom floor.
That's neat.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned yet where you went to seminary. You probably need to give credit where credit's due, and you may as well talk about your undergrad there too.
Well, I went to Union PSCE, which is now Union Presbyterian Seminary.
Or otherwise known as UPS or UP-SEM.
Yeah, or noted, yes. Not to be confused with the Brown crew.
Of course not.
Yeah, I was a little worried that we were going to be having a lot more seminary traffic at the UPS shipment area.
And how about undergrad? Where'd you
I
do?
did my undergraduate work at American University in
And
Washington, D.C.
Remind me what that was in?
Yeah, I was a pre-law student, so I studied justice and legal sorts of things. I think my favorite course was actually a graduate level course that I took in separation of church and state. That should have been a clue for me.
Yeah, it could very well be. I do want to invite folks to talk with Lindsay about her call to ministry, about the shape her ministry has taken. And if you wouldn't mind, just say a word about what it's been like to engage with our congregation, how you found us, and what you think about ministry here in this context.
Like how I found you by accident?
Well,
Not that.
Presbyterian, not accident, but that's not what I was asking. No, what do you notice about us?
I
as a
think that this is
congregation?
a really warm and welcoming congregation.
If you can say that with only 3 months limited exposure and other months of virtual, then I'm pleased to hear that. Wait till you meet them and wait till they meet you. Yeah, that's great.
Well, the youth that I have been working with, both in person and virtually in just those few short months, are very exciting to be with and a true asset to the congregation. And as are their advisors, who have a passion for our young people, and the teachers that I've gotten to work with so far are also amazing in their dedication to the life of this congregation. So that's why I can say that I've just the handful or 2 handfuls of people that I've met are really very genuine and wonderful.
Well, I certainly want to invite all the folks who've not had time with Lindsay to spend more time with her, to explore her sense of call, and also to hear that story about what was not an accident, about how she came to be part of our church staff. Thanks for taking time to share part of your story. If you want to be in touch with Lindsay, you may contact her through the church office. If you'd like to be a featured guest on another episode of Storied, or if you have a fellow member that you think we should feature, please let us know through the church office. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, let's continue to uphold each other in prayer and remain confident in the grace and mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ. Blessings and prayers of peace to you all. Thanks again, Lindsay.